I think that the young people have it right, or at least these 20-year-olds. There's a survey done about 20-year-olds and what they're thinking about the future. Actually, it's called the Z generation, or Generation Z. And that's people like from 16 to 19 years old. They did a survey. And I think it's important to watch what these younger people are doing. Mainly, I'm 70 years old, and I plan to be here 20 more years. So these people are 20 years now. They're the people going to be doing things in the next 20 years that I gotta figure out what they're up to, because they're the people who changed the world, right? Not us old farts who figured it out yesterday, but we have no idea what is tomorrow. And that's what young people are so great about. All they've been doing is looking at the world and figuring out how to find a place in the world. And what we do, particularly if you have some little success in life and getting older, man, you're trying to recreate the world because it worked one way that way a long time ago, and you're trying to make it work again. And that ain't gonna happen. Our world is changing so quickly that you can't make something that worked yesterday work for you tomorrow. That's why it's good to watch out what the young people are doing, because you can take your wisdom and their knowledge about how they see the future. And they have the technology and tools to use our society today than older people do. So this survey of young people, 16 to 19 years old, is important. And look at this: 42% of them, they say they expect to work for themselves. Right now in our country, only less than 10% of the people work for themselves. So that's 42%. And if you're an African American, that's 60%. And if you're Hispanic, that's 59%. So look at that. Almost half the people, young people, expect to work for themselves. Now, why do they think that way? Well, I think it's because they see, hey, getting a job ain't what it used to be, or ain't what it's cracked up to be. No job is safe anymore. There's no pension, no retirement, no health care. People don't care what you're doing in organizations anymore. Look at every big company. Call Comcast and try to get some help. Man, or whatever, So it's not a very rewarding life like it used to be. And I'm sure they see that, so many people sacrifice 10, 20 years in these corporations, and they don't care. They lay off at the drop of a hat. Because, see, the corporations now make more money if they lay people off. And even investors are getting screwed because the people who run the corporation, they have a lot of stock. And if they get rid of investors and buyback, that means their price goes up. So, the people running big corporations nowadays are working just on the stock market, whatever the stock market, because they get paid more in stock. So why should they care 10 years from now, 20 years from now? They're going to be gone, and they'll get there. As long as the price of the stock goes up, they'll make a lot of money, and they're out of there, and who cares? So it's not very wise, it seems, to work for these big corporations anymore, and it's hard to find good small ones, so people are looking to start your own, and that's what's going on now. Now, not only that, but look at this: 63% want more entrepreneurial courses in college. So they're going to college, paying all this money, so they want to know about how to start their own businesses. And I've talked to, we've done interviews on young people who are getting money in college or even high school, using the internet to get free money to start businesses already. Man, you couldn't do that even as a grown-up 10 years ago. And now kids 16 years old are doing that. So they're learning the system because they're tuned into it. They're looking at stuff on the internet. You and I just look at news or something in our email or whatever, and they're surfing around looking for all the opportunities. Also, 72% of these people want to design their own courses too. And 25%, that's right, 25% of the people think that debt, any kind of debt, is unmanageable. So they don't want to be in debt at all. And this is what grew our economy in the last 10, 15 years. People going in debt. Didn't make enough money because incomes didn't go up, right? So people went in debt so they could have more money to keep their lifestyle. And then the chickens are coming home to roost on that now too. So young people, I guess, see that. They smell what's going on. You ask a 7-year-old, if the parents are angry, and even though they're acting nice in front of adults, The 7-year-old knows. Instinct, tells these kids because they don't have all this other nonsense bull carrying around in their head that we grown-ups do. Also, 64% are concerned about getting a job. 64% worry about getting work. Okay, 60% worry about having enough money. So that's 60% of people worrying about this stuff. This is interesting for young people. You think all these young people are in their faces and their computers and their smartphones and everything, and they don't know how to deal with people. Nonsense. Look at this. Only 15% would rather use social media to contact their friends than personal. So, even though they know how to use this stuff, they're using it, and they don't think it's all what they used to be. They think that's, we think that young people won't know how to talk to people in person or something, and that's nonsense, isn't it? They'd rather do that, so obviously they're going to learn it. Things you like to do, you're going to learn how to do it. Things you don't like to do, that's another story. Also, this is interesting. 69% say their parents are their top role models. Man, my parents were just a pain in my butt most of my life. I felt they were my way to do anything. I guess parents, of my generation, would learn that, man, you miss so much if you're not communicating with your kids and enjoying the difference they have, than you have. And now, see, I do it because I'm selfish. My kids are like 30 years old, plus or minus, and I want to know what they're up to because I got to be here now 20, 30 more years maybe, and I got to know what's going on. And they know better than me, I figure. So also 64% say health care should be free for anybody. Okay, look at elections now. You have all this old folks that are, conservative old folks, it should be like this, like it was 30 years ago. And young people don't believe that. When they start voting more, man, and the older people start dying off more, this is what we're probably going to be coming. And also this is this. 73% thinks anybody should have the right to marry. 73%, man. That's a hell of a lot more than plurality or whatever that word is, you know what I mean? So as these people get older, man, that'll be an issue nobody even worry about. Or even here, it says 74% say transgender people should have equal rights. So, talk about being liberal. This is 74% of the people 20 years old. So, and they're going to go through the population. Liberal, conservative, those kind of social kind of issues won't be a problem anymore. And here, 55% say everyone should have the right to become a citizen. Boy, in this immigration reform, I wonder if we're going to hear from the young people, because that'll shock a lot of people. And so now for entrepreneuring. So the kids, young people see, hey, the way to succeed for them to succeed in the world is to have their own job. Okay, so how do you get help to do that? Okay, you could go to small business development centers, and just, you could Google small business development centers. They're all around the country. 3,000 of them. They're free. They won't charge you anything. Any kind of entrepreneurial idea you have, you can make an appointment and then, hey, how do I become a consultant maybe to people I've been working for and I don't want to work for them anymore? Or hey, how do I take this craft I have and I want to sell it somehow and I don't have any money and I don't know how to do it. See, these people will do that for you. They'll help you think that. Don't go Google, how to get help with my business. You'll get some huckster like me trying to sell you something, or an accountant trying to charge you $3,000, to set up your books. You don't care. You don't have a client yet. Don't do that. So get the free help first. And that's what, no matter what the future is, right now, there's a lot of stuff you can get for free.